Good morning, dear audience. I'm Professor MeiHsin Wang from Royal Society of Chemistry UK. Recently, our honorable partner of AIK Law, LS Japan, and AIPPI Japan, Ms. Sumiko Kobayashi-san, and I joined Japan IP High Court former Chief Judge in Milan, CFC former Chief Judge Rader, Germany Federal Appellate Court Judge Boyd, Panel Head of IP AIPPI Japan President Kenichi Nagasawa-san, Licensing Executive Society Korea President Hwang Jong-kim. He's also the CEO and Chairman of Intellectual Discovery, working on the book Law Policy and Monetization on Intellectual Property, which is published by Cambridge Scholar Publishing. Today we're very honored to have Kobayashi-san here in the beautiful Milan. We both are attending AIPPI 2016 annual conference. We're very lucky to have Sumiko Kobayashi-san to join us sharing the highlights in our book and observation on current intellectual property progress in Japan. Kobayashi-san, would you like to say hello to our audience?
Good morning, dear audience.
Kobayashi-san is the author of our second book titled Law Policy Monetization on Intellectual Property, and Kobayashi-san's chapter titled More Objective Method for Evaluation Easiness to Event. Would Kobayashi-san kindly share the essence in your chapter?
Thank you very much, Professor Wang. In our second book titled Law Policy and Monetization on Intellectual Property, I am honored to be one of the authors. My chapter mentioned method for finding easiness to invent an invention at issue. People also employ the term inventive step, such as having inventive step or lack of inventive step. The essence of the method I am presenting in my chapter is number one, logic is more persuasive. Number two, conclusion is more predictable. And more specifically, number one, you would like to distinguish the preparation stage and the evaluation stage in the entire evaluation, knowing the nature of finding easiness to invent under the Patent Act. During the first stage, you fully use hindsight, which is the knowledge of the present invention. During the second stage, you will evaluate the necessary factors objectively, scientifically, and technically, aiming to eliminate the emotional evaluations. I mean, influence of your feeling that it is easy by emotional evaluation. And I think that the essence of objectiveness and predictability of conclusion in finding the easiness to invent are useful to motivate the inventive activity in the society.
Thank you very much for Kobayashi-san's comment. Kobayashi-san, would you mind elaborate your trip this time in 2016 AIPPI Milan?
Thank you very much, Professor Wang. I can give you the general idea, not specific to this 2016 AIPPI Milan meeting. I think it's an opportunity to enjoy discussing and debating the patent issues, which I have found are concepts common to practitioners throughout the world. You can start discussion and debate in person or on panel immediately after the issues are presented, because people have a common basis in mind. Then you can discuss or debate the opinions different from each other. Thus, I have been attending many international IP meetings.
Yeah, I met Kobayashi-san in many global conferences. And she always addressed very important opinion, giving suggestions and how the law should be and how this IP system should be improved. She's currently opinion leader for Japan IP Association. Kobayashi-san, you are the partner for AKI Law. You are actually the most respectful leaders in Japan IP profession. I'm just wondering, as a lady, would you mind sharing how ladies could take the leadership professionally and how ladies should position themselves for their career?
Thank you very much, Professor Wang. Again, so at the very beginning of my career, I tried to protest the responsibility of washing all the teacups, including the ladies' teacups and the gentlemen teacups. The gentlemen didn't have to wash the teacups. But soon after my objection, I started to change my mind. And from that point, I didn't like to feel the discrimination. And I tried to pretend that I do not concern about such problems. And so far, it has been successful because too much concern gives you
disappointment.
So maybe not only not good for yourself, not good for the people surrounding you. So in such sense, my idea has been successful, and I found that recently more ladies have a similar idea.
Yeah, so we have to thank for the Kobayashi-san, their generations. They have to work professionally, and they also try to change the systems because in Japan or in Asia, they used to be the male-dominant society, but now it's more fair. We actually benefit from their efforts. When I work for Takeda Pharmaceutical, I never wash any dishes for my fathers. Thank you very much. Okay, so thank you very much for Kobayashi-san's sharing her precious experience and her insights for our book, which will soon be published by King Scholar Publishing. I sincerely hope all the Asian countries could work together as the Asian allies for better competence to balance the economic and political influence from Europe or US. And I further hope there will be more innovative, creative technology and products with a reasonable price to improve the good needs for human life. Our first book is essential reading for anyone involved or interested in intellectual property law, and will also appeal to those who in the business world concerned with managing intellectual property and confronting competition with smart strategy. Our second book examines numerous pressing issues such as licensing, litigation, merger acquisition, and intellectual property rights. We further complement it by in-depth case study such as smart vehicle, online payment, virtual reality, augmented reality, which is so-called VAR, or transgenic technology is also GMO issues are covered. LED industry, semiconductor industry, mobile devices, and this book demonstrates how company can benefit enormously from integrated application of all kinds of intellectual property rights. We hope soon we will have another opportunity to invite our Honorable Kobayashi-san again to share her excellence, wisdom, both in life and professionally, and hope this will benefit to not only ladies, for all the professionals who is interested in IP field. Thank you very much, Kobayashi-san.
Yeah, thank you very much.